Welcome back to another Triangle Strategy.
Serenoa and his stalwart allies prove their mettle against the realm's fiercest warriors before finally facing Sir Maxwell, victor of the previous tourney. After a hard-fought match, the Dawn Spear emerges victorious once more.
So that's pretty much the recap of what happened the last episode. Serenoa fought the Hyzan people, that's our battle, and we beat them, but then when we reached Sir Maxwell, we lost, which wasn't really shown, so not like we expected anything, but we know the outcome.
Though beaten in the end, Serenoa's courageous display impresses itself upon all in attendance. Any doubts concerning House Wolffort's martial might are put to rest. Thus marks an end to the tourney and the festivities as a whole. With the spirit of harmony in their hearts, the delegates of each nation make preparations for their return voyages.
Whither the river flows. There are two parts in chapter 3. This is where the split will occur, from what I can see.
Seeing our honored guests off shall be your last lordly duty this day. Now, I remind you.
It is not to be taken lightly. Worry not, Benedict. They shall be sent off with all the pomp they deserve.
You take
about
your
Dragan?
new role well, Lord Serenoa. As I must now take to my own. Pray, visit me at the mines whenever you have the time.
Farewell, Frederica. May we never meet again.
Wow, this lady never holds back. No filter whatsoever.
Thank you for such a productive use of our valuable time. I do so love interminable speeches and watching brutes play at war. Truly, the spirit of Glenbrook was on display for all to see.
And this one's a sarcastic prick.
Oh, but I should watch my tongue. Wouldn't want her to go whimpering to brother.
Pay my fool cousin no mind. We have work to do. Work more important than any he could hope to be trusted with.
I apologize for those two. This was a fruitful day for all in attendance.
I am glad to hear you say so, General of Lura.
We beat you guys, so what can you say?
I can't believe we lost. I thought you were supposed to be one of Hyzan's greatest warriors.
Our foe was a worthy one. It would be an honor to cross blades again someday.
Thank you for your hospitality. Please give my regards to Lord Simone.
Of course, Minister.
It would seem everyone is gathered. You'll find your boats are laden with a bounty of Glenbrook's finest wares and victuals. King Regna asks that you eat and drink your fill, and toast to our three nations' newfound alliance.
More of that swill you call wine? I suppose I could force myself to partake.
Your king honors us with his generosity. We shall present these as offerings to the goddess of salt. The Hierophant, too, will no doubt be overjoyed.
Lord Wolffort, I bring a message from King Regna. He would have you join our guests on their return voyage to serve as their envoy.
This is a great honor, my lord. You would represent our nation and speak with the king's voice.
If it is His Majesty's wish, it is a duty I will gladly accept. But there are two vessels and only one of me. Did King Regna say which of our honored guests I should accompany?
He would leave that decision to you, Lord Wolffort.
Lord Falks, as representative of another of Glenbrook's high houses, will board the ship you do not.
And why was House Tellior not given this honor? Last I knew, our kingdom had 3 high houses, not 2.
Mere fact that you whimper those words before us is answer enough. Good show at the tourney, Lord Serenoa. You truly are your father's son. The king has seen fit to leave this decision in your hands, and I shall not gainsay his wisdom.
A lord must be worldly as well as wise. I trust you will conduct yourself as befits the lord of a high house.
Thank you, Sir Maxwell, Lord Falks.
The king has entrusted this decision to you, my lord. I suppose you have an idea as to why.
He means to test my judgment. He is waiting to see which I choose and for what reason.
Indeed. We are friendly with both nations now, so neither choice will earn his ire. That said, there is no telling how these relations may change going forward. No doubt, the choice you make will have an effect on our own house's relationship with the nation you choose.
I understand. This requires careful consideration.
Yeah, no pressure from Benedict right there.
Benedict, gather the others. I will hear their opinions on the matter. Then we shall consult the scales of conviction.
The scales of conviction. So this is going to be our first voting. I know there's like a voting system here. Sundry shop. Let's drop by the encampment. I kind of want to see that first. Got a lot of kudos. Do we not have enough? Oh, these are history notes. And for one, pretty cheap. Something we shouldn't worry about right now. But I know we got the HP ring, which I want to give to Serenoa. Stone. Probably got a good idea to buy stone. Upgrade Anna, because that lady attacked twice good DPS this early game. Oh, speed too, with stone. Oh, this is like a training ground. Can do that later.
It seems your first test as Lord has come. 'Tis no small matter either.
Indeed, but I needn't face it alone. I would ask each of you where you think we should go and why. State your case before the scales of conviction. Then we shall decide our destination.
We take a vote and the consensus determines our action. Is that it?
That is correct. So long as my allies walk by my side, their opinions carry equal weight to mine. Such is the way of House Wolffort. As Lord, I shall bear the weight of consequence for the Scales' decision, whatsoever they may be.
You are more serious than usual, my friend.
He understands what it means to be Lord of his house.
Well, I hope you have room for a stowaway, because I'm going too.
Damn, Benedict trying to...
In secret, of course. I trust the new Lord Wolffort will handle the ponderous negotiations and diplomacy with grace.
Your Highness, you cannot be...
You may stay ashore if you wish, Huette.
You know I cannot allow that. If you insist on going, then I shall attend you.
Well then, it would seem the matter is settled.
There is exactly one coin for each of us.
It seems fate has conspired to bring balance to our proceedings.
How curious.
Curious? I see it as a sign that the heavens approve of my joining you.
You are ever the optimist, my friend.
Shall we proceed, my lord? One coin, one vote.
Very well. I would hear each of your thoughts on the matter in turn. Then you shall place your coin upon the scales of conviction and illuminate the road ahead.
Alright. Voting with coins, baby. Let's do it. Okay. Aesfrost or Hyzand. With that, we had the time to visit both. Although I may not have my own token of conviction, it is my duty to lend an ear to their arguments. An honest exchange of opinions will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfies all who vote. Okay. So we're pretty much picking mostly morality answers, so I think it should be a freebie as far as convincing those against it. Okay, 3-on-3 pro and against. Let's start with Benedict.
Lord Serenoa.
Hyzand's Ministry of Medicine is said to be a beacon of progress in both medicine and magic. I believe we could benefit greatly from seeing the fruits of their knowledge with our own eyes. So this guy's pro Hyzand. So we're gonna convince him otherwise. What interest have you in the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost, my lord? So this information we got from the first exploration. Or second, rather. For the sake of our marriage.
Ah.
Of course, it is only natural you would have an interest in the home of your betrothed. And from a more practical perspective, I would be curious to see how Aesfrost's behavior towards our house changes now that we are bound to them. I appreciate your point of view, my lord. There is much I must think over before I reach a final decision.
Certainly not.
Of course, if you have further thoughts on the matter, then I would be all too glad to hear them. So, trying to make Serenoa a romanticist. Knowledge. Not so Serenoa-ish an answer. Okay, seems more reasonable. It's true. Aesfrost's knowledge of ironcraft is the envy of the realm. Together with Hyzant's salt, it is one of two pillars which support Norzelia. Observing their work firsthand may spark inspiration that could help our own smithies thrive.
I am decided.
You have given me much to consider, my lord. I shall take your perspective into account when making my decision. Oh, he's moved. Is that supposed to be a good sign? Alright, Roland. Doubtless Aesfrost will be a close partner in the days ahead. It would be wise to see how they live, don't you think? I really wanna...
Serenoa.
I've always wondered when I might visit the country where my mother was born. How did she spend her youth? I would very much like to see. You wish to visit Aesfrost? Might I ask why? Alright. What should I pick? Your homeland, so we're following up on Benedict's idea. I'll go with that. That makes me happy, Serenoa.
I see.
I would very much like you to see where I was raised. You seem to have given quite a bit of thought to this question, Serenoa.
And?
If we do travel to Aesfrost, how would you like to spend our visit? Alright, let's follow up on that. Truly, then I shall do my best, my level best, to show you the finest Aesfrost has to offer.
I see.
I hope it is everything you imagine. If it isn't, well, promise not to think worse of me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. I shall consider them as I come to form my own opinion. I'm eager to share. You should speak with them. Alright, I think we convince her.
Lord Serenoa, hello.
Until now, Frederica's position has offered her a few chances to visit Hyzant. Deepening your relations with the Holy State would doubtless be to your benefit as well. Why not use this opportunity to let Frederica realize a long-held wish in the meantime? If your heart is truly set on Aesfrost, I would be curious to know your reasons. Okay. Man, guys, stop. Keep talking about cold, or I mean Serenoa. I'm glad that you have interest in knowing more of your bride-to-be.
Possibly.
As I'm certain she is as well.
My mind is made up.
I believe I have more than enough food for thought. So I guess that's a neutral stance.
Lord Serenoa.
Aesfrost or Hyzant, it makes no difference to me. Where you go, I shall follow. Still, I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. This woman reminds me of Fee. They say Aesfrost is a nation of iron and ice, but what about its appeals to you? Alright, I'm not gonna talk about a smuggler. Let's follow through this idea. I see, I am certain we will come to depend on Aesfrost in the future.
Then?
Strengthening our ties will make it easier to ask any favors we may require. Thank you for sharing, my lord. I see now why you wish to visit Aesfrost. She's still deep in thought after that? Prince Fanny. Okay, so we got some decisions over there. We'll do them last.
Listen, lad.
Can't very well say Hyzant holds much appeal to me. Sorcery and X-Harm are too clever by half. I'm sure the people of Aesfrost will give a warm reception, even if their weather won't. Ah, you want to go to Hyzant, do you? Care telling me why, my lord?
You're onto something.
Hey, doubtless we could learn from the minds of the ministry. With that, we had such gifted healers and mages at our disposal. Might be we could ask him for a book, but I've always been of the mind that the best learning is done through the doing.
I've made up my mind.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the matter, my lord.
Say.
Doubtless, Aesfrost will be a close partner in the days ahead. It would be wise to see how they live, don't you think? What reasons have you for wanting to visit Hyzant? So we're kind of just exploring. This is kind of against our decision because we're going for morality. But I'm just kind of exploring. Truly equal.
Certainly.
Indeed, they say Hyzant is a country without kings or noble. It is hard to imagine. But why imagine when we could see it with our own eyes? An interesting proposal. I wonder what everyone else thinks. You've given me much to consider, friend. Okay, I think that's a small hint. Aesfrost's soldiers are said to be among the strongest in all of Narzelia. However, that is only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself. So it says there I'd have better luck talking to a Stonewall. So they're not kind of convinced. Hopefully this doesn't affect the scales much because we're going morality as mentioned. Hyzant has its charms as well, I'm sure. What about its appeals to you, my lord? Let's talk about the mages, the ice mage. I've heard the same. What magic I have seen is impressive enough. I can scarce imagine what a true master could do. I should like to try my hand against one in a mock combat, if able. My bow against their spells.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord. I suppose there may be some merit in visiting Hyzant. Alright, we pretty much talk about those things to everyone. So now, let's add some morality. Lord Wolffort, I know your position as head of your house comes with many responsibilities. But being party to Roland's fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand that. Okay, which one is morality? This is more liberty. Brother to me. So, morals and emotion. This is probably morality. Just like our fathers before us. So this answer is thinking more on the utility of being in a good relationship with both sides. A brother, you say? You mean to take my place as that fool's older sibling, then? Of course not. There's no way I could replace you, Prince Franny. But because you are brothers in truth, it stands to reason that you would bicker like siblings. Perhaps it would be good for the royal family if I were to be a buffer between you two. What a curious man you are, to offer to play such part. Do as you please, but I suggest holding on tightly to his reins if you do. Spoiled Roland. King Regna expects great things of you, Lord Serenoa. If there is anything I can do to be of service, simply say the word. Alright. Frederica's home. We've talked about this in the Persuasion plenty of times. Let's stay neutral, because this is the morality answer. Surely you jest, Lord Serenoa. The kingdom is in the capable hands of royalists like myself. Our home has a long history of prosperous trade that utilizes everything our bountiful land has to offer. There's nothing for the warriors of House Wolffort to worry themselves over. But if I may be so blunt, Prince Roland's whimsical acts of late have been met with disappointment from both King Regna and Prince Franny. I wouldn't call them whimsical, Minister Patriot. Roland is doing everything he can for his kingdom. If this were not a family matter, I should like to ask His Highness myself to conduct himself in a manner more befitting a prince. Alas, this is out of my hands. I am certain you understand the same, Lord Wolffort. I would hate for anything to happen should you decide to step in. House Wolffort has turned its sword on the royal family before, albeit 30 years ago. But in the end, your house joined forces with the kingdom to lead the war to its end, and are even lauded as heroes to this day. But there are some who still harbor their suspicions. I urge you to proceed with the utmost caution. Pray forgive me, I forget myself sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Serenoa, and I am sure you will choose most wisely. Yep, do not disappoint the king. Let's see what else. Nowhere to run away from or to. So we pretty much talk about all the persuasion and decisions, so let's commence the vote.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we journey to the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost, or the Holy State of Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I stand by my decision.
It was a difficult decision, but I believe Aesfrost to be the better choice. Smart guy.
You make a convincing argument, my lord.
Shall have a chance to visit Hyzant again in the future. Of that I am certain. Okay. That's 2 for Aesfrost.
wholeheartedly agree.
If that is your desire, then I shan't argue against it. Okay. She's gonna go along with the flow.
I have no qualms with that.
You made a convincing argument, a desirable attribute in a young lord. Alright, it's kinda unanimous, I guess.
You have my vote.
Where my lord goes, I follow.
Please forgive me.
One day I shall visit Hyzant, but not today. And lastly, the brute.
Forgive me, lad.
Forgive me, lad. I've been wanting to visit Aesfrost for a while.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Of course. Unanimous, baby.
The way forward is decided. We journey to Aesfrost. We have decided. We set sail for Aesfrost. Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are ready to set sail, Lord Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Archduke, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
Archduke Gustadolf will be pleased that you chose to honor our nation with a visit. I'm sure he is eager to get to know his new brother-in-law as well.
The feeling is mutual, I assure you.
Does this mean she is coming back too? I feel myself getting sick already.
Jeez.
That swill they call wine will taste even more vile now, I fear.
These two just don't let up.
My lady, are you sure you wouldn't prefer to stay at Castle Wolffort?
Nonsense. I am coming with you.
Whither the river flows. That's part 1. So